Let's mute your phones if you're not supposed to be speaking. And my name is Steve. I'm the treasurer of USPTA New England Board. I'm going to introduce our monitor and moderator. Sorry. This gentleman is of the Providence Tennis Academy, USPTA Elite Pro, and a USTA High Performance Professional. Former PP Pro and the current USPTA. Also a USPTA New England Pro of the Year in the past. Let's welcome Mr. Nestor Bernabe.
Thank you, Chris, and it's a pleasure being here. I was really looking forward to this when I was asked to have some of the best juniors in New England and just talk tennis with them. And guys, thanks for making this part of your day. I know you guys are busy with school and training, but
thank you.
Maybe we can do a quick poll. Have you guys done the poll?
I have to keep going on my busy after practice and just talk to children.
Have we done the poll yet, Chris?
Take it easy, bud.
Mute their phones. If everybody can mute their phones, so we can begin. Thank you.
So yeah, if you guys can do the quick poll questions, and we'll start with like a brief 1-minute introduction of the 4 players that we have. I think that'd be phenomenal to have them talk. And I guess we'll start with the oldest. I think Caroline, you're the oldest, so why don't you go first?
Hi, I'm Caroline Driscoll. I'm from Brookline, Massachusetts, and I train at Sportsman's Tennis and Enrichment Center with Troy Critchlow.
Anna, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Anna. I live in Reading, Massachusetts, and I train at Longfellow Sports Club with Lori Hamill.
Naveen.
Hi, I'm Naveen Namalapuri. I from Boston, in Massachusetts. I train with Harvard University.
Cool. And Bobby, you there?
Cambridge, Massachusetts. Train with Michael Mercier at Harvard, as well as Manchester Athletic Club.
Awesome, guys. So the topic today is just discussing junior tennis with a couple of good high performance national players that we have in New England. And my question to you guys is, since we're still trying to finish this pandemic, what was the #1 thing that you guys stepped up in your training on and off court? And is there one thing that you guys have noticed that you were able to do that you weren't able to do before the pandemic? So why don't we just go reverse order from where we did? So Bobby, is there one thing that stuck out from you in the last year that you could share with some fellow juniors that you loved that you weren't able to do before?
Yeah, I'd say I really started to focus more on fitness, on conditioning, trying to get my endurance up, especially in longer matches, and just overall improving fitness, strength, core, shadow strokes as well. Just trying to get down the fundamentals and stuff.
Awesome. Naveen, are you still here? Sorry.
Yeah, I think what I mostly worked on, what was different, was just being able to hit with more people. During COVID, it was tough. And fitness was another thing, being able to increase my stamina instead of just staying home all day. And injury prevention, that was another thing. Lots of stretching before and after.
Nice. Anna.
Yeah, we mainly focused on fitness and off-court training, improving the game off-court.
Yeah, I agree with what Bobby was saying about doing a lot of fitness. I mean, I tried to do anything, everything that I could improve on off the court, I tried to do, and it made me really appreciate the time that I had on court too.
Nice. Did any of you focus on a technical aspect that you probably we're trying to get in, but just never could because of our tournament schedule before COVID, and having, 6 to 9 months break almost, where it was, I know what we did over the summer was a lot of technical stuff. Is there one thing that you guys stood out of in your trainings with your private coaches that technically was missing?
I think for me, it was mostly just about having confidence and just having fun, not taking it, just have fun and just relax out there, stay cool. And another thing was footwork was a big thing for me over the summer or pre-COVID.
Specifically for me, I tried putting a lot of work in on the technique on my serve. Because I was like, I had some shoulder injuries, and really wanted to just like fix my serve and get a more fluid motion. So put some work in that, as well as just ground strokes and everything, using the body.
I also had more time to watch pros on YouTube and study their game.
You're starting like point construction, Nana?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was able to spend a lot of time working on volleys because that's something I was able to work on off the court, just hitting on a wall and stuff. So I spent a lot of time on that.
Nice. Yeah, and Naveen, you said something about keeping it cool and more relaxed. Was there any mental training that you did, whereas like maybe visualization, since
There was definitely a lot of mental training. I don't know if a lot of kids do this, but I picked up meditating in the morning to usually 10 minutes. But yeah, that helped.
nice. And anybody else get that mental part that probably before was there, but you just didn't tap into?
Yeah, I did a little bit of mental training this summer to prepare for kind of when tournaments started up again.
Oh, nice. Anna, was your video more mental or was it more tactical? Because you could be both if you're looking at different aspects of watching the pros.
It was a little bit of both.
Nice. Is Bobby, when you were coming back, were you able to come back doing more one-on-ones, or were you doing like more small groups, or how was your guys' setting coming back from COVID, and has it changed now that we're towards the end of it? We'll let Bobby go first.
I think I definitely started out slower on the court. So like I wasn't spending as much time on the court. Like did some good like hour-and-a-half sessions. And then I gradually started to increase the time and practice more.
Anna, anything for you?
The same. When I started getting on court after quarantine, I started off pretty slowly, but as time grew on, I got more comfortable again.
Nice. We'll switch a little bit. When you guys came back, we'll let Caroline go first since she tapped a little bit into this. Preparing for tournaments, where was there, I guess, not a ranking goal? Was there more just like, let's get some matches in and feel comfortable type of mentality with you guys? Because I know it was impossible at first to try to come back after 5 months of a tournament break. But Caroline, you can start the topic.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely difficult. And I had been injured right before. I was coming back from an injury right when COVID hit. So I had been out since for a long time. And so my goal was just to get a ton of matches. I played a ton of UTR turns. I know I played one in Providence where you were running it. I just played a ton of matches this summer just to get match tough. And it took a little while. It definitely took a while, but I played a ton of practice matches and tournament matches and just played as much as I could.
Yeah, that being said, we can keep adding on to building how you guys came back, but did this give you guys an appreciation for taking time away from tennis? And how much and how often do you guys take just a couple weeks off, and is that in your developmental plan? I know we talk about it with all the juniors, is getting that break in, but after this, pre-COVID situation, do you guys think that going forward, you'll keep taking these little breaks just to let your body and your mind recover? Naveen,
Yeah,
it's
I think definitely I would take those little breaks just to, get away from tennis, relax, because the mind also is working. So your mind needs a little break too. Physically, body too. The body needs some rest. You can't just grind out every single day. But yeah.
Bobby, you wanna, how do you feel about the breaks now and understanding them better and
Yeah,
coming back from tournaments?
I think it definitely gave me a greater appreciation for like taking these short breaks just to regroup. Also mostly physically, because I was battling some shoulder injuries, and I kind of just wanted to take a break, reset, and like see what I could do strengthening my shoulder and not really having to worry about tournaments and competing.
What was your guys' biggest miss during COVID? Was there you just missed seeing a couple of your friends, or was it just heading up to Nashua and playing a tournament up there? What was the biggest miss you guys had from not being able to compete?
Just, I really missed being able to run around on the court and play as long as I wanted.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with Anna. Especially all the summer tournaments. I mean, summer's probably the most fun season, playing all the nationals and traveling with all my friends and stuff. So I definitely missed that. So I'm excited for this summer.
Naveen, your
Yeah, I
biggest-
think it's just going out to explore, get a little breather, just being able to breathe the outdoor fresh air. Friends, obviously, going to tournaments, you're always looking to hang out with your friends before and after matches. But yeah, mostly that was it.
I'm definitely with Naveen. It was a little tough, like not seeing everyone at tournaments like every other week. And still, like the tournaments aren't as big. But yeah.
Yeah, what that being said, I know Caroline, you said something about traveling and team stuff. How do you guys feel about the zonals and the intersectionals being canceled this year? And are you guys gonna end up making a journey out to national events that that you wouldn't have been able to just because of the two big team events that we're having?
Well, I definitely miss the team events. I mean, they're definitely the most fun, especially because I want to play college tennis, and the team events are most similar to what it's like playing college tennis for a team. But a lot of kids sometimes skip certain events because there are just a ton during the summer. So I mean, that'll give me an opportunity to play a few more tournaments, but I'm definitely gonna miss them.
Anna, you?
Yeah, playing zonals and team tennis was definitely enjoyable, so I'm gonna miss them a lot this year. But it does give me an opportunity to train more and just relax from traveling.
Awesome. So I'm getting a couple questions here, and how did you guys cope with the things that you missed? Was there talking with your coaches, or did you just know that this would be coming back and eventually we would be back to normal? But is there anything that you guys used, any strategies to just let your mind relax and know that you'll be back with friends in tournaments?
I have a pretty big backyard, so sometimes my brother and I would go outside and just go volley to volley whenever we missed playing.
For us, we would have some frequent Zoom calls. Zoom was basically our best friend during that time. We would always come back together at least once or twice a week. And then fitness sometimes, so we would have a stretch and flexibility class over Zoom on Tuesdays. and also meditating, you know, just for half an hour, just to zone out from the world. And another thing was just socializing over Zoom and talking with your friends.
I think I definitely reconnected with some of my tennis friends more over like FaceTime and Zoom during COVID because I didn't get that opportunity.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of your guys' backgrounds, and there's a question here that that someone asked is, how important is doubles to you guys? I know, Caroline, you said you want to play college, and obviously playing singles and doubles is a big thing in college. Is let's say, since we didn't have any doubles tournaments for I think 9 months, maybe. I think it came back in February. Was it just so much fun being back with your partner? And I'm pretty sure you guys all have regular partners, but did you guys just click right away? Was there like, oh yeah, I remember this? It just, and anybody have any moment in the last doubles events that you were like, man, it feels so good to be next to this guy or girl?
Yeah, definitely. The first doubles tournament I played, I think, was about a month or two ago, and it was actually with a new partner, but we had so much fun, and we actually had 2 match points and we lost that match. But we just had so much fun, and in the matches before that, we just got better as the matches went on. The first match was definitely a little rough because we hadn't played in so long. It was a new partner, but I definitely missed it. It's so much fun to play, not just for yourself, but play for somebody else too.
For me, the same thing. We had the doubles tournament this past weekend too. Actually, I've never played with this guy. It was my first time playing with him. Our first match was, you know, we talked over the phone for I think actually 3 hours, just discussing of what we were gonna do during that match, just to get used to it, because we didn't play with each other that week, or we never like practiced with each other. And we went into the tournament with that mindset, and we stuck to that mindset all the way through. And luckily, we won the tournament, and it was a good tournament.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just this weekend, I had a doubles match, and I remember thinking how nice it was to like have someone to laugh with whenever I make a silly mistake. Like it puts a lot of pressure off of you. You don't feel as pressured as singles.
Same with Anna and Naveen. I kind of realized how much I miss playing doubles, and just like having fun on the court with your partner, and really getting the team chemistry going.
That's tremendous. Yeah, I remember the days where I wouldn't see my partner for 2 or 3 weeks, and just be so much joy and happiness playing doubles with someone that you know, and it gets easy to get back to playing with them. Is there one thing that you could share with other juniors or coaches on this panel that that try to make sure that they get into their practice schedule? If it's I mean, we do a little volley to volley thing that before we didn't do, because we just added it on since we had such little space, being indoors and finally being outside. So we started doing a lot of volleys in our trainings. Is there like one thing that you guys have been doing that, oh, you guys should try to implement this, something that you could, a little nugget to some coaches out here?
I think one thing is we were doing a lot of one-on-one talking. It was a lot about getting into our game. What do you like? What do you dislike? A lot of just to get to know your game and how do you feel, not only tennis, but also outside in the real world.
Good question, Caroline.
Yeah, during practice, I worked a lot on slices more than usual. Just in mixing out my game, mixing up types of balls I gave.
I've been working a lot on serving and volleying, just feeling comfortable moving forward because I come in a lot more in doubles than in singles, and it actually helps my singles game too.
One thing Naveen and I implemented into our practices was warming up with these like tennis paddles. They're like wooden paddles that kind of really get your timing down before you start playing. Yeah, Naveen's got it.
These things right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you guys talked a little bit about serving and volleying, mixing things up, slicing. A question that John Bragg asked is, have you guys watched a lot of classic matches? I know Tennis Channel did a tremendous job showing Graf and Sabatini and Sampras and Courier at the French, and a couple old Australian Open matches. Have you guys implemented any of those old matches and classic matches? And what do you think has been the biggest impact in your game from the video stuff that you watched? We'll let Anna go first, since she talked about videos.
I actually haven't watched like classic matches that much. Most of the older matches I've watched were like I'd scroll through Instagram and I'd see videos, like highlight reels a little bit of that.
Bobby, anything from you?
Yeah, for me, I think I mostly watched some like not as many matches, but more like videos on strategy and technique, and like how I was gonna work on that, like the technique part and strategize for my matches.
Same thing with Bobby. I think we also kind of went over it together. We worked on that too. But one thing that stuck out, I think I was watching a lot of Sampras and how he was serving volleys, especially Sampras versus Michael Chang 2000, 2001. Not really sure.
Yeah, with what Naveen said, I watched a ton of older matches and a lot of serving and volleying, which is kind of what inspired me to kind of work on it a lot.
Yeah, I highly recommend some Graf and some Monica Seles and a lot of Sampras and what you guys could be watching. It's not just what I grew up with, but I just feel that some of the stuff they could do is just so special compared to how the game is right now, so powerful. That being said, have you guys been able to get out to US Open? I think, Caroline, I last saw you were the last non-Rhode Island junior I saw at the US Open. But have you guys been out to the US Open or Newport or some college matches and just been like struck by the footwork or by how hard the guys hit the ball or their touch? Is there anything that you guys think is special from the pros, or anything that you guys wish you could do to implement in your game?
The footwork. Mainly, I just really like watching how smoothly they work around the court and how fast they are.
For me, it was also footwork, like Anna said, but also one thing that really stuck out was how prepared they are even before the ball has bounced, how focused and mentally they are.
Yeah, I agree with Naveen. Every time I've been to the US Open twice, and every time I come back, I'm super excited to get back on court and just work on everything that I kind of saw the pros doing, especially how mentally focused they are and how they fight hard for every point and nobody's giving away any free points.
I watched one college match. It was Harvard versus Northwestern, and I watched the #1 guys. And it was really eye-opening how every point they came out with the same intensity and just going after every shot, and not letting like the neutral balls slide. Really trying to dictate points and have an aggressive mindset. That was really cool.
Do you guys pay attention to how low the pros are actually on the court and how wide their base is? I think that most juniors, when they come back, they can't understand how the pros are so low. And I think you guys all talked about doing so much fitness. Are you guys doing a lot of core and hip and stuff like that, or just physical strength? What is your guys' development going on right now with, maybe some of you are going through some growth spurts and stuff, but anything physically, any physical drills that you guys have been doing that, you've seen a big impact in?
Mainly, I've been working on lower body and more stamina, so I like jump roping a lot.
Same here. I've been doing a lot of jump roping. For me, I've been working about a little bit more on the upper body ever since I fractured my left elbow. So I've just trying to get back into just strengthening my upper body a little bit more.
I've been focusing a lot on just the recovery, trying to get lower, especially on the recovery and crossovers. Stuff.
Same with what Bobby said. I've been working on recovery, getting out of the corners quicker. So working on a lot of speed stuff.
Nice. The one thing that you guys didn't talk about was your biggest miss was having your parents watch you guys. I know that was probably your biggest miss. Since we've been back, I know a lot of the events haven't had, parents watching or too many spectators inside. Have you guys found it? I have some kids that have found it more enjoyable to not have that pressure of, their parents watching. Some of them, really miss their parents watching. How did you guys feel with that whole situation where, you probably go into the building and you're by yourself and you can't be near anybody, or, that constant chatter after the match, like, oh, you double faulted 17 times, what's wrong with you? But anything like that? We'll let Caroline go first since she's the oldest.
Personally, I like having people watch me, so it was definitely hard when nobody could watch, and you would leave the court and then you would see a parking lot full of parents and they would be like, how'd it go? So I mean, it just depended on the person. I know some people who didn't like when people could watch, or if their parents stressed them out, then they didn't want their parents watching, so it was good for them. But personally, I like it, and now that tournaments are kind of starting to move outdoors, parents will be able to watch, so I'm excited about that.
I think personally for me, it was probably the opposite. I felt like I kind of felt looser just playing matches. I felt like there wasn't additional pressure, kind of, but I mean, it's a good experience either way, I feel.
Yeah, same here. I agree with Bobby. It's just more calm, less pressure, especially during those important points. You get to just think about yourself and what's going on. You don't have to worry about what's going on the glass and what's going on over there. But yeah.
Personally, I didn't feel that much different. At first, I was happy and relieved that my parents wouldn't watch me anymore. But when I went on court, I didn't notice that much of a difference.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because I've been thinking about this, and I think it's such a great experience for you guys to have to go through it. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much often where you don't have anybody watching you, but I remember, playing in Germany once and wishing that I had my dad watching me, and then, in other matches is like, oh man, why is he watching now? It's something I've been thinking about the last 6 months is just taking it that as a positive. I know I hated when I didn't have anybody watching me, but there are times where you go out there and you don't have anybody and you're on intersectionals and there's no coach near you and everybody's playing. So yeah, I think you guys tapped both, sides of it, positive and negative. But moving forward, is there one thing that have you guys changed maybe how you guys do your notes after the match, or since you probably were out there alone for a couple weeks or a couple events, did you guys change your note taking and your visualization and stuff like that, since you had to do so many things by yourselves? That's one of the things that I think has been a tremendous help for us over here in Providence. But how was it for you guys?
I'm still
Sorry.
Go ahead, Anna.
I'm still getting used to like keeping track of my own matches, because after my match, like, coach will go up to me and go, what did you do well and what did you not do well? But I still haven't found an answer. so it's definitely been tough for me having to keep track of my own thoughts during the match.
Yeah, I agree with Anna. I usually, before COVID, after the match, I would kind of write down notes with whoever was watching my match, and kind of they would have some input and say, you know, I think you could have done this better. And then I kind of put some input in too, but it made me realize that I have to kind of figure it out myself. Because I was the only one at none of my parents were watching or coaches. So I kind of had to figure out what I did well and what I didn't do well. And so now that we're playing more tournaments and stuff, it's made me have to problem solve myself on the court.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Caroline and Anna. It was a lot of a mental battle with yourself, and because nobody's watching you, so you don't know what you're really doing wrong. But yeah, you just have to focus and grind through. That's why video was helpful through like practice sessions, and yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. Because when coming off the court, like when you get asked certain questions, it's kind of hard for me to like reflect back on my match, and like analyze what I did wrong, or like what I could have improved, and also like what I was doing well that allowed me to play well.
That's tremendous. There's a question in the chat box that says how is it to becoming a mentor, or sorry, yeah, a mentor and a role model for younger kids in your guys' program. I'm pretty sure as you move into high school season and stuff like that, you guys are probably the top dog on your team, and that role model of what other kids look at. What is the biggest impact, or have you guys seen that yet, where someone has said something like, oh, I wish I could play like you, or will you help me do this and that? And if you haven't, have you guys thought about talking to your coaches about, oh, I would like to be a little bit more part of the coaching side, or can I help the younger kids out?
Yeah, for me, our high school team, we had a couple beginners, so they would come up and ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm completely feel free to just feed them balls and help them out and help them improve their game and just have some fun time on court. And also at Harvard, we used to do some clinics for like little kids, 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds. Me and Bobby would help out these kids, just give them some simple tips on what they can do to improve their game.
Going off of what Naveen was saying, pre-COVID, at Sportons, I would help out with the little kids program there, and it was super fun to hit with them. And then I also have a little sister who plays, so I hit with her a lot, and it's fun hitting with her. I mean, we definitely get in arguments once in a while, but it's fun to be able to hit with her.
My little cousin has been getting interested in tennis, so every once in a while I'll take her out to the high school courts and throw her balls for her to hit along with my dad, and it's really been fun.
That's tremendous. So we have a couple minutes left. I wanted to give you guys 30 seconds to a minute, 2 minutes if it takes. What would be your one or two bullet points that you would try to hope that other fellow New England players learn from you guys as you guys are higher in the rankings and stuff like that, and any advice for them, even if it's a really younger player or someone that you play against is and we can start with Bobby first.
Yeah, I think one of the main things to really improve your game and avoid injury and stuff is to warm up really well, and try to warm up all the muscles required, as well as stretch afterwards. I think that's definitely like one of the most important parts to sustain a high level tennis. Yeah, for me.
For me, just definitely the stretching and warming up, because a lot of kids will warm up before, but they won't really stretch after. Another thing is just being mentally tough because, sometimes I see a lot of kids just get down on themselves too much and start throwing rackets and a lot of that. Just, stay calm, have fun, even when it's tough. Just enjoy the game.
I agree with Naveen. Just to stay mentally tough and kind of fight hard for everything, and just have fun because that's the most important part, and that's why you're playing. And in the end, it's about having fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Caroline. It's about having fun and don't stress too much about rankings because rankings they don't define who you are. And it's always nice once in a while to take a break if you ever feel too stressed.
And that's a great point. And guys, I think you guys have touched every part of the sport from beginning to the end of competition. And, I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time. And, I think if we could do more of these and it'd be fantastic. So we're going to open up to any more questions. You guys can put them in the chat box. I'll read them off as they go, and if we can just hold on for a couple more minutes. I know you guys probably have to get to training or fitness or something, but we got a couple more minutes and then we have a raffle to do. So go ahead, guys. If you have any questions, just type them in. We'll wait a minute, and thanks so much for joining us. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Unless the questions come in, Chris, quick poll. Did you know that the USTA junior rankings are now nationally unified system was the first one. And the second poll question. Oh, sorry, I missed this question. Okay, so guys, there's a question that says, do you guys feel like there's an imbalance in your life between tennis and not tennis? So is your entire life tennis? Or do you guys have any extracurriculars that you guys like to do? Like, I just like going to the beach and hanging out for not doing anything, just lay there. I don't know what you guys might like to do, but anything else?
Definitely going to the beach, reading, lots of school, eating.
Nice.
I really enjoy spending time with my little cousins and friends, but mainly school and tennis have been taking up a majority of my day.
Yeah, school takes up a lot of my day, and then whenever I have time, I love to hang out with my friends because it's just a fun thing to do.
Tennis for sure. I definitely take up a lot of time, but in my free time, just trying to connect with my friends, as Caroline said, maybe playing some video games, friends. It's always fun.
That's awesome. That's good that you guys have a little break and your enjoyment outside of the court. A tournament committee member from the USTA, Bill Mountford, asked, what is your favorite USTA tournament each year? And what is your favorite national tournament? Can't say Providence Tennis because I'm on here.
My favorite New England tournament is probably sectionals because it's all the age divisions together and it's just a fun tournament. And then national tournament is probably clay courts because I love playing on clay and being able to kind of set up the point, hit a lot of drop shots, come to net. And I like playing intersectionals too. All the team events are super fun.
For New England tournaments, I also like summer sectionals, just because it's really fun with everybody there. And for national, either national hard courts or national indoor, because indoor hard is my favorite surface.
For New England tournaments, I always say anywhere at Nashua. 'Cause I don't know, I just play really well in Nashua. But national tournaments, I think zonals is definitely my favorite tournament. Just getting together with people you know and just playing some high level tennis is really fun.
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. Definitely Nashua, Longfellow, great place to hang out. Really funny tournament director too. And then also for nationals, zonals, get to hang out with your friends and play tennis at the same time.
Yeah, I think zonals is everyone's favorite hit since they're 12s and moving up. Though there's an awesome question I like, and maybe I'll think about this more. Is has a coach given you guys any advice or inspired you in any way when you're bored or low energy on the court?
My coach always has a lot of energy whenever I see him. Sometimes, maybe if I'm a little bit late, I'll walk on court and he's out there serving. And even after I leave, sometimes he's still serving too.
For me, my coach is really funny. He's always makes me laugh every time I step on the tennis court. And then it's just a fun time on the tennis court.
Yeah, same with Aveen. My coach is really funny too. So whenever I'm kind of like have low energy, he's just super funny and is always has energy to make me play better and get more into it.
That's excellent. So last question, and then we'll hopefully get this raffle out. But what is the next big tournament that you guys are playing for? Because I think the next one around here, it might be the level 3 this weekend, correct? Are you guys playing this weekend?
There's a level 1 this weekend.
Level 1, that's right.
Yeah.
So
I think sectionals is in June.
Yeah,
And then
June 19th is sectionals. But Anna, sorry, Naveen. Anna, where are you going for level 1?
Oklahoma, I think. I leave this Thursday morning.
Excellent. Naveen, is your next big one sectionals?
Sectionals, or I think there's also an L3 and an L4 coming up.
Yeah, definitely sectionals. And then like maybe like an overarching goal for like tournaments. Would definitely be qualifying for Kalamazoo tournament.
I'm playing I actually decided not to play the level 1 just because I've missed a ton of school. I played Easter Bowl a few weeks ago. But I'm playing a level 2 at the end of May in Virginia, and then sectionals, and then clays and hards this summer.
Excellent. Well, guys, thanks so much. It was honestly a pleasure. I hope to see you guys at sectionals, even though we'll be spread out all over New England. And I wish you guys the best. So Chris, the floor is yours, and thanks for having all of us on this, and everyone that was able to join. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nestor, for moderating that. The kids did a great job. So juniors, thank you very much. We actually got a lot of good feedback in the chat room on how mature and how well you're spoken. So well done, and thank you very much for giving us your time. To wrap things up, we're going to give away a couple of gift cards. We have 2 $15 gift cards from Frommeth Tennis, and we randomly picked 2 people. Everybody was eligible as long as you think that Yale is better than Harvard, which was everyone. So the 2 people that were that won the gift cards were Christy Hardcastle and Jason Joseph. And Mike Mercier will be in touch to make sure you get the credit for that, for some $15 worth of Frommeth goodies. And again, everyone, thank you very much. We appreciate your time and taking some time out to learn and improve yourself as a professional. We hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Christy and